Okay, behind me here we've got a high-end custom caravan. We've worked real closely with the client on this one. So yeah, let's come and have a look at some of the features. There's some pretty cool stuff on this one. So we're running the DO35 coupling here from Cruisemaster. Now this is all set up to be really good off-road because this rolls side to side. It can go 360. Not that you'd get your caravan upside down, and it also pitches a very long way this way compared to a normal bull. So, and it uses a pin system, not a ball, which you could argue we should be using for everything, but I guess it's the cost side of things. So what we do is pull this cover back and wind it down like usual. Sort of self-aligns because it's tapered at the top, which is nice. And then when we're down, press that button, locked. And there's no way that is going to come off. Well, you never say never, but okay, we're running this ARK, I guess you'd say, jockey wheel. Now I'd have to say this is probably one of the nicest jockey wheels I've ever used. So you can put that handle away. You can see down here that pins in really nicely, so the wheel doesn't spin around and smack into your drawbar as you're travelling, and you can get it up for height clearance. This handle swivels so it's out of the way. That's just got a real nice positive lock. This handle comes off, which I suppose is to get it out of the way and for security. It is magnetic, so that's one thing you do have to remember to take that off. I did travel with it on and it did stay on, but man, I wouldn't trust it. But even that fits beautiful. So remove that and then up your wind. I mean, we haven't got full weight on here. I think the 750 means it's rated to 750 kilos, but that wind is, I haven't felt anything better, to be honest. And it moves pretty quickly. And then you can wind that up. So if you want your wheel, say, positioned out the side there, you can do that. Like so. Pull that, and then there's also, it's going to get in the way, but and you can lift that right up as well. So there's a number of different height adjustments there as well. And it's just got a simple U-bolt system, so any RHS drawbar it fits on really easily. There's a whole series of holes in the back there. So yeah, double wheel, heaps of footprint. What's that made out of? I think that's aluminium, I could be wrong, or might be even steel. Wheels, so they will be bulletproof. Running a trail safe breakaway system. If the trailer did come off, that would pull and jam on the brakes. Now to remove, it's just the opposite process. Remove that waterproof protective cover, unlatch that, and up we go. Put your brake on, always a good idea. They've really thought of everything here, and they've even got a reflective marker, so when you're backing up, even at night, you can see it, or if the lighting's average, which is a real good idea. We've got a custom made toolbox / gas bottle storage. So that's going to most likely house, I think, some spare gas bottles and other tools and bits and pieces that you have on the road. So these doors push up, lockable. So on the top we've got firewood storage or other outdoor things with some tie down points. This is an aluminium box, so it's all nice and light. And then on the other side, it repeats. We've got another drawer up here for tools like impact driver, wrenches, those sort of things. You need it. These are rated to, put it on the screen, can't remember. So those drawers lock out when they're all the way. Yeah, same ARK corner steadies, we've set them inbound on the trailer just so they're out of the way. So again, you can use your drill there and set them very quickly. Might want to go that way. So next up we've got some electric fold down steps by Ranger. Max load 200 kilos. I've just rigged this up for now, obviously this will get wired into the caravan electrics. I think that instead of, we talked about, and I've done them before, doing a well, there's actually quite a bit of work in that. Well, there's a bit around the trailer and then there's a bit around the actual siding or wall structure of the caravan. And then you usually, depending on the height of the caravan, you usually still need another step or a block or something. So these are actually, might seem maybe expensive, but they're readily available anywhere. Okay, we're getting close to the, I think, the real cool bit. So the customer's chosen some method rims here, 17 inch. They pretty much just look outstanding. So the stud pattern's the same as most utes. So the idea there is, I don't know if you ever did run into trouble, which is a pretty common 6 stud pattern, and the same as your utes, it gives you a few more options. Those are some rather large wheels for a caravan, but as you're picking up, this thing can go off-road. We're running Cruisemaster independent airbag suspension. So that means all the wheels move independently of each other. So again, really good for going off-road. They've got some amazing adjustments, so you can tow the wheels in and out using this adjustment here. And you can also change the camber on them as well via those two adjustment tabs there. So once you've got all your weight on your caravan, you can get those wheels tracking perfectly, so you've got good tyre wear, fuel economy, and just really set up to handle really well. Yeah, so you can see here's the airbag, not connected at the moment. There's a whole control system that needs to be connected up when the caravan body is built or after it's built. We got some shock absorbers in there. It's sitting down on the bump stops at the moment, which travels alright, but you just don't have that suspension. There's a cable on the rear that maxes out the extension. It's like, this is rated to 4.5 tons and they're imported from Australia. So with that airbag you can adjust the suspension perfectly for what you're doing. So if you're cruising down the road, you might set it somewhere in the middle, so it's got good compression and rebound. So if you're going over a stream crossing, you could crank it right up or near to it just to give you a bit more clearance. Get your caravan out of the water and your rear end, your departure angle a bit higher, which is nice. And then when you come and park up, at the end of the day you can let the air out of the airbags and the whole thing drops down, so like accessing the steps over there isn't such ordeal. So these are running electric brakes on all 4 axles with an in-cab hardwired controller, just so you can dial the strength of those brakes perfectly for the conditions. So with the Cruisemaster level 4 suspension setup, if there's more weight, say on this side, the system before you set off will automatically put more air into this side, meaning leveling out and stabilizing your load. So water tanks, there's a few of them. So we've got a couple of fresh waters here in between the axles, right over the load of the wheels obviously. Then we've got, they're about 80 litres each. Then we've got around a 200 litre grey water tank, and then this back one is more of a spare for a bit of fresh water, and even to balance out the caravan if the loads, we've done a big weight calculation and load distribution on this, so it is pretty good, but just depending on what gear you're carrying, what vehicle's towing it, there is that option to add a little bit more weight at the rear, and just for extra water and stuff as well if you need it. So we've got the same wheel as the other 4, and that's running on a simple and common chain mount, so you can pull that up. At the rear of the caravan we've got a removable bumper / bike carrier. So we've got some imported nice big lights on the back there, and the bike rack's going to mount on here. It is removable via bolts, so when the caravan construction takes place, that can just be removed out of the way. Also, if it needs modifications or anything down the line, just gives it more flexibility that it's removable, and powder coated that black with a textured coat just for sort of longevity and a bit more chip resistance. So we've got a couple of e-bikes back here, sort of 40-50 kilos worth, but the aim is not to tie anything back to the composite body, and I reckon this is going to be all good. We've got a camera up here as well, so you can constantly monitor to see what's going on there.